The original Blue Beetle was created by Charles Nicholas Wojtkowski and Fox Comics and later owned by Charlton Comics. The first Beetle was Dan Garrett, later spelled Dan Garrett, who initially gained superpowers from a special vitamin, which was later changed to gaining powers from a sacred scarab. The original Blue Beetle was featured in not only his own comic but also a weekly radio serial. The second Blue Beetle, created by Charlton and later taken over by DC Comics, was the successor to Dan Garrett known as Ted Kord. Kord jumped to the DC Comics universe during the Crisis on Infinite Earths alongside a number of other Charlton Comics characters. The second Blue Beetle later starred in his own 24-issue comic. Kord never had any superpowers but used science to create various devices to help him fight crime. He became a member of the Justice League of America and was later killed during the prelude to DC Comics' Infinite Crisis crossover. The third Blue Beetle, created by DC Comics, is Jamie Reyes, a teenager who discovers that the original Blue Beetle scarab morphs into a battle suit allowing him to fight crime and travel in space. Over the years, Reyes became a member of the Teen Titans and starred in 2 Blue Beetle comic series. In DC Comics 2011 New 52 Inches reboot, Jamie Reyes was the primary Blue Beetle character, only occasionally referring to past versions. With the subsequent continuity revision, DC Rebirth, the previous versions were restored. While Jamie Reyes is the most well-known hero to don the Blue Beetle mantle, at least in this day and age, he wasn't the first. The initial Big Blue was a rookie cop named Dan Garrett, who took to vigilantism after the death of his father, also a policeman. He first appeared in the Fox Feature Syndicate comic book series, Mystery Men Comics #1 inch in 1939, donning an outfit more akin to the Green Hornet than his successors. Decades later, the Blue Beetle was reinvented by the folks at the second Blue Beetle took over Garrett's mantle in a backup feature at the end of Captain Atom number 83, then went on to earn a series of his own. This version, named Ted Kord, was engineered by Spider-Man co-creator Steve Ditko, though he shared little in common with the Wallcrawler or his predecessor. Instead, Kord was a billionaire inventor who used his technical prowess to develop Beetle-themed equipment and save the day. By the time DC Comics acquired Charlton's library in the mid-1980s, Kord was ushered into the Justice League following the Crisis on Infinite Earths, where he served as DC's primary Beetle until his death. Following Kord's murder, Garrett's original scarab found a new host in teenager Reyes, who has been the face of the Blue Beetle legacy ever since. Charlton Comics, now spelled Dan Garrett, who likewise introduced his new superpower-inducing Egyptian scarab. Let me know your thoughts on comment below.